Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, Dr. Kaushik Ghosh for introducing me. It's my honor and privilege to be on this platform, and I sincerely thank Dr. Saha sir for giving me this opportunity. And before I start, I'd like to congratulate you, sir, yeah, and the Central Library Vishwa Bharati Library Network for having these very interesting topics we call recent trends. So what we covered, as I can see, research metrics, open access publishing, research ethics, and today we will be talking about research visibility, which is very, very important. But before I start, I would say that this series was on research academic skills development program, and what we learned from Dr. Sahasar address, we can make out his academic as well as administrative skills, and what actually I request, and expect from the participants, because, a lot of efforts are being taken when we organize such, series of lectures. So we also expect, to learn whatever we are sharing, and then you try to implement, whether you do the quality research, are you being a librarian, you help the research scholars. So today we'll be talking about whatever are the recent trends. Okay, AI tools, research support tools, everything I'll try to cover, because this seems to be a very interesting topic. What are the issues related to the increase the research visibility, because everything has to be visible. That is the reason, if you remember, government of India has made compulsory that Sodh Ganga. Whatever research you do, it should be accessible to everyone. No, no, because then only we can see how it is going to helpful for the society. And when we are going to make visible, we have to make sure it is a quality research. Otherwise, we may end up in a problem, right? Because one metric, there's a health metric. So everything we share on the social media, and we get the scoring and all those things. So sharing anything on social media comes with the responsibility, right? So there are many things, so before I share my slides, I just want to say that quality research is very important. And then we have to talk about, like, we have a 650 research scholars staying in our campus, research scholars. So right from the how we are helping them to choose the right problem for the research, what are the tools to be used, how to do the literature review. Okay, how you go ahead with the research methodology, where to publish a paper. So tools like Journal Finder and all, how to make a use. And nowadays, every tool claiming they are AI-based research support tools. So that also we need to verify. And we are the librarian, who actually make sure whether they are authentic or not. That is the role of librarian, right? People says lot of information is available on the Google Scholar, Google and other platform. But what are the authentic things, we know, because we know once the day open access has been introduced, there are a lot of clone journals, predatory journals are popping up. So that we need to make sure. Like in our case, now we have started giving DOI number to our PhD thesis. So now these things, trends are changing. How to upload, where to, how to get data from Sodh Ganga, that we should know. And then it is also the expected from research scholars to publish quality research paper based on their research work. And then how to make a best use of open access publishing, right? We all know one nation one subscription. They are right now supporting APC. So there are almost 432 journals where you need not pay APC as a scholar. You just go, you need not even ask your institute. You just go, and by Aadhaar authentication you can register on their site, and you can but by that time you should have the confirmation from publisher that your paper has been accepted. You have to upload your manuscript, and then you have to ask the publisher to get the invoice in the name of one nation one subscription. And once you do this, APC will be paid by the implement center, and this is very fast, 15 days, all the things have been done. So we'll talk about other things like data mining and all those things. So now I'm going to share whether my slides are visible. So may I request someone to please confirm whether my slides are visible?
Not yet, not yet.
Yes, now
Yes,
it is.
yes, yes. Now visible, and may proceed.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Now I'm closing my video to have a better, the audio quality. So the topic today is issues related to increase the research visibility. So first, let us understand, and I just want to say here, uh, this is the first talk of mine which I used, AI to prepare my slides by using Gamma platform, and I hope I am able to, do the justice with the slides because I thought, let us go ahead with the time and let us, do something different. So let us start with the why visibility matters. So we know we heard about scientific communication that whatever we do do research, we publish our papers or our academic work, research work through journals, conference proceeding, book chapters. That is we call scientific this scientific communication or scholarly communication. So visibility is very, very important. Let people know. Then only they will start reading our work, and then only we'll get citations and all those things. So publishing is just the beginning because we all know about the traditional publishing is the first step, but now demand more engagement. That is the reason now people are sharing their research on social media and all those things. Then digital footprints has also is also very, very important that we'll talk about. And then the influence, so that all those things we'll discuss. Then the why research visibility matters. So it is high quality research deserve a global recognition, right? And that is the reason if you heard about IRINS, Indian Research Information Network System, where faculty has to upload their profiles. So that visibility, ORCID ID, right? ORCID ID, once you have to make sure your all publications are under one umbrella. So if you do the quality research is very much visible, then only people will read, and if people read, you get more citation. Then institutional ranking also it helps because there is a one more parameter for the perception. So if you are doing a good research, your institute name will go high, and this is how you get good marks in the perception. So institute ranking also visibility metrics directly influence national and global university ranking. Then collaboration and funding. Once your research is visible to everyone, you are likely to get more collaborators. People will call you, oh, you've done a good job. Can we go ahead and do, I can get involved in research. So this kind of, suppose somebody is working in US, you are here, say for example, Vishwabharati University. So they will ask, okay, why don't you send two of your students to my lab, let them learn. Okay, so this is how this exchange start. And then societal impact. So again, we are talking about that research visibility matters for the researchers, because if your research is visible, you are likely to get your research get noticed, you are likely to get more collaborators, and then you are likely to get more higher citation. Right? People will read, definitely they will cite. So you are likely to get citation. And once a researcher gets citation, his her H index goes higher. Then increased collaboration opportunities, better funding, because nowadays institute like IITs, IISERs, NITs, and including Vishwabharati, administration always push to write a project and bring money for the institute. This is a kind of prestige issue. Okay. So and that also comes under one of the NIRF parameter. Okay, research how much project your money you have brought from the various funding agency. Then stronger academic reputation. Also, researcher once they do a good research, they do have a stronger academic reputation. We know there are many celebrities, academicians around. For example, I just say the name of Professor Abhay Karandikar, right? Who was a DST secretary, now is a member of Niti Ayog. So the people who are roaming around, we can they are around doing very good. We can make out improved institutional ranking, that also helps, and greater society. For libraries, why it is important? We have to support the institutional research goals, and then demonstrate library value to the stakeholders. Right? Who are our stakeholders? Our research scholar, students, and faculty members, and we have to support the research ecosystem. So that is the reason I always say, as a librarian, whatever things are around, we need to help the students. For example, ONOS is supporting APC, right? So we need to circulate this kind of information among the students, among the scholar, among the our faculty members, to let them know that you want it. That is the reason in our case there are now right now around 6 to 8 cases where APC has been given to our faculty members. And also we need to, as a librarian, we need to see, we need to organize lot of, author workshop, editorial workshop, because when they, learn all those things, why, where to submit paper, why paper get rejected. So this all will help them end of the day to produce the quality research. Once they do the quality research, their research will be definitely, it will be visible to that cannot be discovered, cannot create impact, right? So, what are the key visibility channel? Journals. Everybody knows through One Nation on subscription, everybody is getting, all the academic government institutions are getting access to 32 publishers, right? And then where more than 10,000 journals are accessible. Then institutional repository also, once we upload our thesis, institutional thesis on Sodhganga, it is accessible to everyone, and your research work get noticed to other person. Then there are discovery platforms like Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Academia.edu. This also, these are the visible channels which, as a faculty, as a scholar, as a librarian, we should know. Then researcher identity. This is also very, very important. That is the reason we say ORCID ID is profile is for, it's like Aadhaar ID, right? Academic Aadhaar ID. So everyone, all the scholars should have ORCID ID, and you make sure that all your papers have been uploaded under ORCID profile. It doesn't matter even they don't have a DOI number. You can also upload by doing using the manual option. Okay, and then there is the social media. We all know the advantage, importance of social media, right? So I think we all should have a profile on X and LinkedIn, right? And we should follow our favorite, journals over it, our celebrity academicians in our field, like then institutes, like as a librarian, if I feel we should follow OCLC, IFLA, INFLIPNET, FID, SLA, this kind of association. So if you are doing, suppose you are working, for example, say chemistry, then you can follow the top journals in ACS, RSC, and published by other publishers. So let us first understand what is research, what is the life cycle of research. So we know that every research project follows a continuous cycle from the initial idea through publication, dissemination, and measurable impact, ultimately inspiring new questions and future studies. So once we have a research idea, which is say like approved by or agreed by our PI, our faculty, supervisor, then we start doing the literature review. Why we do the literature review is that we get to know what are the research gap in that area, how much work has been done in recent last 10 years, and what are the things we can do, and what is the scope for future study. And then there is a research design. Once you do literature review, in order you have to start working a research design in consultation with your PhD guide. And once you do the research design, for example, whether you are doing preparing a questionnaire or all those things, you need to start doing the data collection. Data collection also, there are various methods, right? Once you do the data collection, you have to do the analysis, right? Analysis also, there are various analysis softwares are there. You can also take the help of them like R Studio, BiblioShiny, SPSS, Stata. There are various softwares you can take the help to do the analysis, and then you need to start writing the PhD thesis. Once you start writing the PhD thesis, there are various writing support tools which you can like grammar related softwares, reference management related softwares. You can take whatever you do, you have to do, you should do to make sure that your research is there in the in the order. Then based on the your findings, you need to start writing publications. And now no, as I remember, it is no more like essential to write publication, but it is expected from you to write a quality papers, because that will help you for your professional career as well as to get the postdoctoral position in abroad or any other good Indian institution. Then dissemination is also very, very important after publication. So what you should do after to disseminate, that is what we are discussing today, to how to increase the research visibility. So how to disseminate? First, to make sure like you have a ORCID ID, you have Google Scholar ID, you have a researcher ID by Weber Clarivate, and you have a your profile, say like platform on Kudos, Impact Stories, and various other platform, Microsoft Academics, and make sure that your all papers are updated over there. And if you do this, you will see the impact. You will see the good number of citations, on for your publications. So this is the complete cycle of your research, starting from research data, literature review, research design, data collection, analysis, writing, publication, dissemination, and impact of citations. Now, it is also very important to first learn what is quality research, because I said very beginning, of this talk, the quality of the research. And here, quality research comes by giving your time, and we say always the honesty is the best policy. So, whatever who is your faculty member, your guide, just try to understand your topic, which area you are going to work, what work has been done, what are the other people are doing in that area. That all you need to learn, and then that is the reason we say, the visibility imply impact, but only when underlying research is rigorous, credible, and reproducible. So you have to make sure your research work is novel and original. Okay. And because we know it is going to on Sodhganga, everybody will see, everybody will react. So you need to be very clear what you are doing. Then you need to be very ethical. So you need to follow the ethical guidelines. Means if you are taking some data, you cite them. You also take the help of softwares. For example, you are going to create an image. There is a software like BioRender. Okay, if you want to check the originality of the any image as a faculty, there is a software like Image Twin. Because we know software like Turnitin only check the uh, similarity of the text, but if you use the software like Image Twin, that will check the originality of the image. Okay, so and transparency also is very very important, right? So that also you need to maintain whatever data. Now you must be knowing, if you are doing any data, say you are doing some computing, or you are working in the chemistry lab, so you need to store those data, and sometime now most of the time publisher is asking to submit that data also. So that is the reason, if you see the few publications PDF, there will say supplementary data. So you can also check, because we everybody knows there are retraction of papers, right? So now there are the cases where papers are being retracted due to quality issues, and it gets the bad name to the institution. So that is the reason you make sure that there is everything is in order. Then reproducible and accurate. You make sure that methods are documented so others can verify and replicate the findings. And evidence based and cited. So that also, as I talked about already, the that supplementary data you need to keep with you. Okay. Then there is a one more important point is what is the importance of literature review? Because the moment you join, faculty ask you to go through the various papers on same area, what other people are doing. So why literature review is important? So the thorough literature review is the foundation of credible research. And you also get some sort of confidence what is going around. It's position your work within the existing body of knowledge and identify where your contribution fits. So what are the steps? First, to identify the research gaps, avoid duplication of efforts. This is also very, very important. Understand current trends. Okay, what are the things are being happening in that area, right? And then refine the research questions, and then build theoretical foundation. What you are going to do? Choose appropriate methodology. So these are the things you need to be keep in mind. Now we talked about importance of literature review. Then I should also talk about what are the sources for literature review, right? Because we know there are various open access resources like Google Scholar, DOAJ, Direct Open Access Journal, where more than now 20,000 journals are there. There are so many preprint servers databases there, for example, Archive, Scam Archive, BioArchive, right? Edu Archive, then SSRM, OpenALX, right? So these are the open access resources are there. Same time, there are many scholarly databases are also there, like Scopus, Web of Science, PubMed, IEEE, Springer, and these five are accessible through One Nation One. Last four are One Nation accessible through One Nation One subscription. Now, what is the effective literature search strategy? See, why I'm talking about all those things? Because what topic is issues related to increase research visibility. So first we are talking about how we have to make our quality research. Then we'll talk about the what are the tools we have to use. and how we can use, to resolve what are the issues and how to resolve. So now as of now, we are focusing on to make the quality research, right? And then we'll discuss about issues and how we'll make it visible. So now question comes, effective literature search strategy, right? This also we should know. So what are the search strategy? Because when somebody goes to Google and search something, that is not expected from the librarian or a scholar to search on Google. Okay, even when you search on the Google Scholar also, you need to see how to search, how to make a use of Boolean operators and or not, how to apply the filters, whether using Scopus or Web of Science. All databases, their filter option is available. So how to use smartly those filters, that is also very, very important. Okay. Then phrase searching. This is also, use, that is what we say is to use quotes for exact phrase. So we say quote unquote, right? And we know software like Turnitin, if you're using quote unquote, this software will never, show the similarity, because if you're doing quote unquote means you are acknowledging, and once you acknowledge anything, that will not affect the your manuscript. Then there is a citation searching, right? So that also you need to follow references forward and backward, that we'll discuss. And there are various this writing styles also you have to follow, right? In case of PhD thesis, writing style mostly is finalized by the institution, like your university or college, whether it is a MLA, APA, or any other style, Chicago. Okay, and then you can also set the alerts for the notifications, right? There are Google Scholar, you can follow any faculty. There is a alerts option for Scopus, Web of Science. Then there is a one more important issue, that is uh, managing reference efficiently. Okay, managing references efficiently. Uh, so this is also like, reference management tools eliminate manual citation. If you remember, every article, when we write the articles, we have to give, a number of references in the last. Why we give the references? Because whatever we have gone through, we have referred anything, given any citation, all those references we have to mention, number one. Number two, it gives, the more credibility to your, manuscript. It gives more credibility to your manuscript. That is the reason we have to write references in last of the manuscript. Now, what is the role of reference management softwares? I think many of you must be knowing that, suppose there are 50 references in a very particular manuscript, and when I submit this paper to say like Wiley, and writing style, suppose it is as per the Wiley writing style, say like APA or MLA, but once paper get rejected and you decide to submit in stringent nature, then their reference style is completely different, right? So all those references you have to again change as per their style. So if you are doing manually, you will end up by spending your lot of time. But if you are using a reference management software like Zotero, Mendeley, or EndNote is a subscription based, or paper file. But I always suggest to go for Zotero, because Mendeley also is now owned by elsewhere, and their few of the future have been squeezed. So as of now, Zotero is, we prefer our scholars also, though we have a subscription to EndNote. So you use a Zotero, and I think maybe some other talk we can talk more. We can discuss about Zotero, but you spend some time on the net, and you will learn Zotero. So basically, these are the software you can make a use to change the style quickly, and within a 1 year 2 minutes you can completely change the style of. See, by single click, you can change the style of all those things. Then research support tools, at a glance. So what are the research support tools? The right tools at every stage of research process improve efficiency, quality, and ultimately the visibility, right? Then only people will read your research. Then only it will be visible when it is a quality research. So what are the discovery research? You can use, to discover the thing, discover the research. You can use Google Scholar. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, first we have to talk about the discovering, research. As a scholar, we should learn Google Scholar, Semantic Scholar, Lens.org, and OpenALX. So, as always I say, as a scholar, to be a smart scholar, we have to use whatever tools are available around to make sure we, produce the quality research, right? And then writing and editing also, like IISER Bhopal also we subscribe overly. It is a like advanced version of LaTeX. Though most of the things we can do in LaTeX, especially the scientific writing, but overleaf you can contribute also. For example, myself and Dr. Saha and Dr. Kaushik Ghosh, we are writing a paper together. Then we all three can, work on a single manuscript and we can edit, wherever it is needed. That where overleaf help. Otherwise, more or less similar features are available in LaTeX. LaTeX is an open source, editing, writing software. Then there is a Grammarly, and you have access to Grammarly and Quillboard. But it doesn't matter if your institution is not having access. You can do the use the trial version, and you can, go ahead whatever you want to do. And then we already talked about the managing, references, this software Jotero, Mendeley, and Note. Now, see, now we everybody is talking about AI, artificial intelligence. So how to make a, use of these AI tools for researcher. So from literature discovery to writing assistance, AI is reshaping how researchers work. So this session will cover most of the useful tools and how to use them responsibly. Because see, whatever we are going to use, we have to use, in order. So first there is a like ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT, we always say, if you write something, it will give some idea, but you cannot refer that, that this is the I search on ChatGPT and you say no ChatGPT.com I search. So that may not be the authentic. It's, for example, I would say you work on literature search, literature review. If you do a literature review on ChatGPT, you will find the references coming in the end. They are wrong. They are not in order. So that is the reason you need to be very careful. You need to use the more authentic sources. Then there is a like Claude, there is a Gamma, there is a Gemini, right? And then uh, Elicit, Consensus, Size Space. So these are the AI tools. You need to spend times to learn the things. Okay, I written here document analysis. Claude is there. General writing. ChatGPT. Gemini is for multimodal research. Okay, and then Elicit for literature discovery and research paper search. Consensus. Size Space is for the paper reading and annotation. So what these tools do? Literature discovery, summarization, brainstorming, coding assistant, and grammar improvement. Now, responsible use of AI. So AI is a powerful assistant, but it has clear limits. Knowing what it should do and should not protect your credibility and your research. So what AI should not fabricate reference or citation. Of course, we should not also do this. Fabricating any reference or citations, write entire research papers, replace critical thinking. For example, I would say, your research topic, right? You go to ChatGPT and just say, write a synopsis for my PhD topic, quote unquote, and your research topic. What will happen? It will give you a synopsis, right? But that will be like a say like template. Then okay, then you need to start working, actually working on that. What should be there? What should not be there? Whether you are really to work, then you need to consult your PhD guide, and then you can finalize. So you should not take anything, just blindly. And then generate fake or unverified data. That you should never do. That is the reason I said now publishers are asking to give the data what you produce in the lab, and that also they are publishing. Okay. And whatever research, and I would say even sometimes publishers, do not allow you to withdraw the paper also. So that becomes a big embarrassment. So you have everything in your hand till you publish. Once your paper is published, nothing in your hand. So you make sure by using tools that whatever your manuscript is in order. What AI should do? Improve the clarity and writing quality, summarize existing papers, explain complex explain complex concept, and suggest keyword and search item. You must have heard about now there are sites you upload a PDF of any research paper, they will give a small video, right? Like brief video of 30 seconds or 2 minutes. So that video will talk about your research or any paper. So suppose you want to read any paper. Suppose your guide has given you to read 5, 6 papers, and you don't have a time. You are not, so what you do, you make a video of those papers, and they will summarize you the uh, those papers and the video form. So that will really, interacting, and you would, love to hear in the video form. So that option is also available. Now, let us talk about academic integrity. So, integrity, is the foundation of credible research. That is a reason, most of the institutions, they have a, this academic integrity committees and academic integrity guidelines, RSOP, which makes sure that, otherwise institution name also, get bad name. So violations, whether intentional or accidental, can damage careers and undermine trust in science. We have seen the even the big shots in science because of 1 year, two mistakes. They got a bad name, and now there is a social media. Everything quickly get circulated. So what we should avoid under the academic integrity point, that we should avoid plagiarism and self plagiarism. See, what is self plagiarism? Suppose you write a paper, say like for example, brief history of Kolkata. Okay, now you are going to write another paper on history of West Bengal. So you will, try to say, oh, that was my paper. So whatever I want to take, I can take. Once your paper is on social media, on public domain, it is not your. Now, whatever you want to take from that paper, you have to quote unquote. Okay, if you're not doing, then it will lead to self plagiarism. Okay, then duplicate publication, that also we should avoid by doing some changes, publication, and doing the same, publishing the data on various platform. Even you should also avoid the duplicate parallel submission in same manuscript in two journals, that also you should avoid. Data fabrication is a really, it's a serious offense, I would say. And falsification, that you should always avoid, because sometimes people ask, oh, you did this experiment, whether do you have this instrument in your lab? Okay, and then sometimes otherwise you have to say it's not necessary ki you always have it. Like we get a IISER Bhopal, we get a request from even the CSR labs in like Sagar University or other colleges. So students come with their samples, and they do the experiment here. So you have all those correspondence with you. So we have seen under academic integrity, how to avoid, and then what are the things to maintain ethical approval for all studies. For example, you have a animal facility. Suppose you are going to have experiment on monkeys or any other bird or animal. So you should have a proper approval of those ethical committees, right? Otherwise, tomorrow you may land up in a problem. So whatever you do with the proper prior approval, all those things. Then proper citation, that is also expected, to give a citation to whatever sources you have used. Okay, we should not hesitate. And that is also under this Creative Commons licensing. It is very much, now things are very flexible. So we should not hesitate giving citation to whatever resources we have gone through. And then we have to maintain the full transparency, whatever we do. And I think everybody knows about plagiarism detection tools, right? So whatever we are writing, we have to write, in our own style, in our own thought, our own view. If you take simply any paragraph, anything with paraphrasing or writing again, then it may show the similarity, whether it is a text similarity or AI based similarity. So here you need to be very, very careful. So there are very popular softwares like Turnitin, Authenticate, okay, Drillbait, Original. So these are the like softwares, which people. But only thing, this software do not check the images, duplication of images. That is the reason I talked about software like ImageTwin, which check the similarity of the software, images, similar duplication or similarity of the image. If you copied some image or anything, that software will tell. Now, finally, when you publish your research, okay, so choosing the right journal is a strategic decision. We call journal finder. Where to publish your research? Generally, what happens? Suppose I am in a lab, I am in a chemistry lab, my papers are being published, in RSC, ACS, YLA, so that trend goes on. But suppose there are not, you are the first person in the lab, or you want to publish in a paper. You are going to publish a very first paper, so you should not aim for the journal with a high impact factor. You should try to aim with the low impact factor or conference proceedings and all. So you go to journal finder, this thing where it is provided by publishers like SciFinder, no, publisher like Elsewhere or Wiley, Springer Nature. You just go to the Google, say Wiley Journal Finder. You need to submit your abstract and keyword. It will suggest you where your this paper can be accepted. Okay. So you need to always, see the what is the scope of your journal, where it can fit, and then peer review, right? Whether it is journal, you also make sure that whatever journals, if you go to publisher like Wiley, Springer Nature, Cambridge, Oxford, you need not worry because all their journals are indexed by Scopus and Web of Science. But when publisher is not very known, you make sure that that journal is indexed by Scopus or Web of Science. Otherwise, this your research may not be well recognized and may not get that kind of visibility, right? And one more disadvantage, you may land up by publishing your article in a any predatory journals or pseudo journals or clone journals. So what you should do, especially you might have seen in we all get such emails. You submit your articles, we publish in 2 days, 3 days, pay 5,000 rupees. We'll get now DOI number also. So be careful of all those things, okay, and make sure that whatever journals you are publishing the article, they are indexed by Scopus or Web of Science, okay. Then we have to see the impact and scoring. So when you want to check the impact factor of any journal, the only authentic source is JCR, General Citation Report, given by the Clarivate. But you will see most of the publishers, they are giving their impact factor on their site also. Okay, so all those metrics, you must be knowing. For example, any journal impact factor is 12. What does it mean? Ki whatever article published in last 2 years have been cited at least for 12 or more than 12. That is a kind of matrix. There's a one more matrix like H index, right? Suppose any author's H index is 8. That means he or she is having 8 research papers, which are citation are 8 and above. Okay. Journal finder tools. I think we already talked about. This is very important where to publish your article. So there are few publishers, which they also provide this kind of, like Elsewhere Journal Finder, Springer Nature, Wiley, IEEE. Okay. Now, identifying predatory journal. So this is also very, very important. How to identify predatory journals. So I already, given examples. Acha, so somebody may say, ki, oh, we don't have access to Scopus or Web of Science. Then how we can go and check whether that journal is available. So even without logging, you can go and check that journal's availability. Otherwise, you go to the Google, just say list of journals indexed by Web of Science. You will get an Excel file. List of journals indexed by Scopus. You will get a list. Okay. Still, if you have any confusion, I'll be happy to help you. Okay. So, fake impact factor, as I said, that journal citation report is the authentic one. Others, you need to be very careful. Somebody says our impact factor is 6, but it is there on. It should say source JCR, a source Clarivate. Then one can rely. Then extremely fast publication. This is also kind of you submit a paper, very next day you get your paper publication, you get a certificate, you get a DOI number also. So that gives a kind of suspicion whether that journal publication is really whether in the right platform. Then aggressive emails, you start getting emails. Okay, so that poor website quality. One more thing. Suppose predatory journals you visit and you their editorial board you see. Even what happens, those who are in their editorial board, they may not be knowing they are on the editorial board of that journal. So that also, so you see some big name in the editorial board, don't get confused. You may assume that even that person may not be aware. Okay. So the only thing you have to check whether they're indexed by the Scopus or Web of Science. Okay. Fake editorial board, hidden APC. So, okay, all those things you need to. Then there is a one more thing, peer review process. I think we all know, we say na, journal should be highly peer reviewed. For example, we talk about DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journal, right? It is a open, so directory DOAJ, even you can now type when if your internet is on. So it is a more than around 20,000 journals are there which are completely open access. And why I'm saying they all journals are highly peer reviewed. So peer reviewed is the quality gate of academic publishing. Understanding each stage help you navigate submission with confidence and respond to feedback effectively. Okay, so what happens here? Submission, author submit the manuscript, then reviewer assignment, expert evaluate the work, whether it is a double blind or third blind, whatever process they have. Okay, and editor also they screen whether the journal. So first submission, then editorial screening, then reviewer assignment, and finally, if the revision is required, author will be asked to revise the things. Okay, then there is a one more that is a open access and Sodh I think. So why I this thing talked about here, because it is a issues related to increase research visibility. When we talk about researchability, we should know research visibility. We should know open access, because once your article get published in open access journal, your research get more visible, right? That is the reason now most of the faculty want to publish their articles in open access journal, because if it is accessible to everyone, they will start reading, they will start citing, you will get more citation and your H index will go high. So what are the models of open access publishing? There is a one diamond open access where very few journal publish where few journals are comes under this, because here you need not pay APC, and who will pay the APC? Publisher will pay the APC on behalf of authors. So that is a diamond open access. Then there is a gold open access. In gold open access, author has to pay APC. Okay, and then it's okay whether it is now paid by the one nation, one subscription supported, or your institution, or from your project grant. But one has to pay the APC charges. But here librarians can play important roles. Being a faculty, if you are not able to pay APC, you forward that email to librarian and request that librarian to write an email to that publisher to waive off this APC. And let me tell you, in case of society publishers, you are very much likely that your APC will get waived off, because they give a lot of respect to the librarians. But when this comes to the commercial publishers, chances are less. But librarians, if keep requesting once, twice, or thrice, they are likely to give some discount, whether it is a 25% discount or 50% discount, but they give. Then there is a one green open access. So green open access basically, once their embargo period, is over, that article become open access. We call also delayed open access. Okay, and such, once it is a green open access, you can download and upload in your repository. Okay, there is a one more hybrid open. What is hybrid actually? There are subscription based journals, but if you pay the APC, that particular article will become open access. But complete journal, all articles are not open access. So that is a hybrid open access we call. So I talked about Shodh Ganga, because we know it is a initiative taken by the government Ministry of Education, executed by Implement Center Gandhinagar. So where all the PhD theses of all the government institutions are being uploaded. So it's a kind of long-term digital preservation and global discoverability for all Indian scholars, or it helps to prevent duplicate research, because you can go and see what other works are going on, and it's a permanent access and better citations. Now there is one important is the publishing papers from your PhD. This is also very essential when you do a quality research, when you write a do a good PhD. And I think you know, because institute like IISER, IIT, NIT, CSR Lab, Vishwabharat, they all scholars start writing the papers based on their research work. That is a really help for the society, for the scholars. They get to know what work you are doing. One more thing, when you write, when your paper, they become a part of your thesis, and when you check in the Turnitin or any other software, Drillbit, it will show the similarity. So then you can remove from the that checkbox. You can remove those papers because actually that is not a similarity. So this is how you can reduce the similarity. Here your librarian can help, and this is very much allowed as per the UGC guideline. Then there is a one more researcher identifier. This is, I think, is very crucial. All the researchers should have their digital identifications. Whether you should have all scholars, even librarians, faculty members, you should have the ORCID ID. Then you should have the Google Scholar profile. These are the things you should have. If possible, you can also have a Google author, Scopus author ID, and you can also have a Web of Science researcher ID. But you must have the ORCID ID. Why they matters? Because correct attribution of your work, your all work will come under one umbrella. Okay, because platform like Scopus or Web of Science, they can search any author by ORCID ID also. So that's your unique researcher ID. And why this matters? Because you give the accurate citation tracking. Okay, it gives the correct attribution of your work, accurate citation tracking, and research networking and discovery. So for all this purpose, that is what we say, the research identifiers, it establishes a unique persistence identity across scholarly platforms. These identifiers ensure your work is correctly attributed and easily discoverable. Now you must heard about institutional repository, right? Most of the institutions, they have institutional repositories, right? Whether they have a e-prints or using DSpace, and whether it is an intranet or internet. For example, IIT Bombay, they have a repository or internet. IISER Bhopal, it is an intranet. But now all these repository software, there is an option for embargo period. So if you activate that and put the embargo period, then after that embargo period, those articles will be visible to your outside institutions. Okay. So why this is important? It is important for the visibility of your research. Now, what are the barriers? Barrier is that if there is no repository or institutions, then you may not be able to upload. So that case, you have to request your institute librarian that they should have the repository where you can upload your paper. So what is the advantage? It is a long-term preservation. It increases the visibility, and it is helpful for the better indexing. So what is to be deposited? Preprints, accepted manuscript, conference papers, research data, and technical reports. Now there is another one, increasing citation impact. This is now very important. How to increase the citation impact? See, I am telling you what happens generally when we write a one paper, we start thinking about next paper. But we do not spend time to have all these, papers under one umbrella. So I request people like scholars, when you make a ORCID ID, all upload your all papers under one umbrella. Okay, if you have a DOI number, you can by give DOI number, you can upload. If you do not have DOI number, then manually you can upload your at least the metadata on the this thing. So this will help you the indexing of your papers on various platforms. Then you write strategically, use meaningful titles and strong keywords to improve discoverability. I remember we had a one Professor Kankan Bhattacharya, no, he's no more, but he used to say in very lighter way, you write a simple topic of your paper, it is going to be a big hit. If you write a simple keywords, you are likely to get a more readership and more citations. Okay. Then go open access, and that I think that trend is already on. Most of the faculty, they want to go for open access publishing, and it is also very necessary. If you collaborate globally, you are going to get more citation. You see the example of we call kilo authors. Have you heard of kilo authors? papers. When you see a papers, published from like ICTP or big Max Planck lab. So whatever people are working, all become a author of those papers. Sometimes they are, authors are in 10 pages. So so that case, that is this kind of papers get more citation because all these people have their own network. All these people are going to upload that same paper on various platform. It is going to be indexed number of times. So that is the reason that paper become a big hit. Okay. So try to globally as much as possible. So we call corporate collaborate globally. Now, importance of social media for research visibility. I have seen here at IISER Bhopal because when I was handling social media, media cell, we have seen that few institutions were doing, very good uploading their everything on the social media. And now, the time has come. We have to, have our account on social media platform like Twitter or LinkedIn, and we share our research. So LinkedIn is known for professional networking. Twitter is for academic conversations. Okay, and then ResearchGate is for scholarly community, academia.edu for paper sharing, YouTube and blog for broader outreach. What to share? Publications and preprints, conference posters, research videos, infographics, and slide presentation. Now, when we talk about preprints, we know about reprint and preprint. Those who are senior faculty members like Dr. Saha, he must be knowing that, when you used to publish a paper, we used to get 10 copies of all those publications in our residence address or address given by us. Preprint, what happened generally, faculty, especially this is very popular in physics. They first submit their preprint version on a preprint server like archive.org or similar platform. Nowadays, people get a DOI number also, and they get a feedback in 2 3 months, and then they revise the manuscript and submit a paper to any journal. But few discipline I have seen, they hesitate to submit, their paper as in preprint format because they have a fear somebody may take up, their idea. So it's up to the individual what they want to do. Now, research promotion and promotion checklist. Research promotion checklist, again, I would say work through this checklist to ensure your research is visible, discoverable, and properly credited. So, ORCID and Google Scholar ID, ResearchGate, all those things you should have your, presence, your credentials. ORCID and Google Scholar, ResearchGate, networking, repository, Sodhganga, open access, conferences, and social media, promotion. What are the bibliometric indicators? So this metric helps, assess research impact, but always interpret that responsible and in context. So what are the author level metrics? Citation count, H index, I10, I20. Okay. Then article level metrics, we know field weighted citation impact, given by these Scopus and Clarivate. Journal metric site score, SNIP, SJR, and journal impact. Okay. Now, what is the role of librarian? Role of the librarians are very bring expertise across the full research life cycle. Like librarians can help for literature search, database training, data mining. What happens sometimes, for example, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur University, Dr. H.S. Gaur University. So people, give the institution and various form. When you search their publication by single name, it will not come. So their role, librarian's role comes under that, data mining. Like in author's name, Sandip Kumar Pathak, Sandip Pathak, Sandip K. Pathak, S.K. Pathak. So this kind of mistakes are being done, by the authors. That is the reason their papers are not visible at single platform. That is what I always say. ORCID ID is very important. ORCID ID, under ORCID ID, all platform, all your papers should be, available at single umbrella, under one umbrella. Then also librarians should help scholars, to learn about reference management software so they can save their quality time. Research data management also, how to plan, store, share, disseminate the data. So that also one can learn. Copyright and open access also librarian can help. They can talk about what are the copyright, what are the intellectual property rights, how to understand rights, licensing. Because when subscribing the e-resources, we sign lot of license agreements. So we know about the licensing pattern, copyrights, and all those things. So that is there. And AI literacy. Nowadays, this is also very, very useful. How to make a ethically use of the. Now, coming the last part of my presentation, again I will repeat that as a librarian, we have to organize, workshops, seminars, orientation about one nation, one subscription. What are the resources are accessible? Institute like IIT, IISER, Vishwabharati, we have access, IP based access. But those institutions, those who are in a remote login access, they are using the remote login access by the internet center. They need to tell about the what are the resources they use, and now ONOS is also supporting APC charges. So that also we should share this list to all the faculty members. The top five, it says here, top 5% journals, they are three indicators based on the SAT score, SNIP, and SGR. They are being, taken over here. Then IRNS profile. If you see, our profile is completely populated, IISER Bhopal. So this is also very, very important for the. See, why I'm saying, if these things are not there in your institution, that is a kind of barrier. So you make sure that your institutions are having this kind of this thing, whether it is IRNS or ONOS or the, so this kind of things you make sure they are very much visible and accessible. So what is the advantage of IRNS? All faculty profiles are there. Suppose I am as a scholar, I want to join, say like Vishwabharati University. Before joining, I will say ki our faculty members, which area they are working. Okay. And so by seeing their profile, I will write to them and I'll appear for the interview and I will be happy to joining them. Okay, there is a one more option at IRS, Cernis, top 10 Cernis. So basically, these are the female scientists who are doing well. It comes over here. So now there is a one more software like BioRender. We are subscribing, so I thought of sharing with you. BioRender actually help you to create an image. So tomorrow nobody can say, oh, it's my image or it's duplicated. You have proof that you have created from here. So that we call BioRender. There is a software like Image Twin. It actually check the originality of the image. Then there is a software of Overleaf which help you to write the scientific content. Okay. Then we have also software the Insights. It is a software by Clarivate. It is advanced version of Web of Science where we can analyze any report, we can organize. For example, there is a My Organization, so we have a profile of all the IISER Bhopal publication department wise. It is a live. So anytime administration can see department wise publication, faculty wise publication, everything is online by one single click. You need not ask anyone. Then there is a one more, like you can, for example, last 5 years publication of IISER Bhopal. So just go to here, organization filters, analyze portion and the organization name, and you can see here IISER Bhopal, number of publication, number of articles, CNCI score, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, all kind of data is there. So what are the future? What is the future of scholarly communication? Is it is AI assisted research, open science and fair data, preprints, data and software citation, altmetrics, and open peer review. So scholarly communication is evolving, staying informed position you as the forefront of the research. So what are the key takes away from this presentation? That quality research comes first. So strong scholarship is the foundation of everything. Visibility begins with the discoverability. If you do a quality research and you have uploaded your research under the all your IDs like Orchid, Google Scholar, all those profiles, it will be automatically visible to the people. And if your articles are open access journal, that will definitely boost the visibility of your publications. Then publish ethically in peer-reviewed journal. That is also, very much important. Deposit your thesis in Sodhanka. Of course, you cannot directly submit. Your university will, your nodal person of the Sodhanka will upload your thesis, but you need to make sure whether it gets uploaded on time. Create your Google Orchid ID, Google Scholar, and other profiles. Okay, we called digital identifiers. Use AI responsibly. That is very much required. You should not think that whatever you catch through AI, it is just to give you the idea. Okay, but you should always trying to boost your creativity towards research, and implement all those things in your research. And last one is promote research through open access and social media. This is very, very important. So with these words, I close my presentation, and I think now I am available for any discussion on topic. I hope I was in, as per the topic given to me. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Pathak, for your such kind of views in user-friendly and illustrated and very good informative presentation by you.
Thank you.
And hope all the participants will enrich with your presentation. So now the time for a few interaction, if any, from the participants' point of view. So may I request all the participants, those who are available in this platform, you may ask directly or you may submit your query through chat box.
Yes.
So we are
Not
expecting
necessarily
to.
they ask, they can also give suggestion or some idea which I missed out, because we
Yes,
are here to learn
yes,
from each other. Yes.
yes. You may furnish few suggestion also. So we are expecting few queries, suggestion, and your views on this today's topic. So you may submit your queries through.
Yeah. So we
So
get
what-
one first query. Can I submit my paper both ResearchGate or ORCID? Yes, why not? See, you cannot, you can submit your paper on ResearchGate, but in case of ORCID ID, you cannot submit. Here you can upload the metadata and you can give the DOI. So what will happen? Suppose I am looking for anything, I'll, so by giving the DOI number, it's automatically that, it is a link to the full text. Why you cannot submit a full text directly? Because you have to also see whether, certain things before uploading any full text, whether it does not violate the copyright law. If it is an open access journal, you can very much do. Okay. In case of ResearchGate. But in case of ORCID ID, you need to give the metadata. Yeah.
So during your deliberation, Dr. Pathak, one participant's name, Dr. Tinkudhali, already furnished one query. Sir, you said Turnitin Dilbit cannot check the authenticity of the images. Could you please tell which software can help us to find out the authenticity of the images?
Yeah, I think I already talked about during my presentation that, this, as of now, software like, in this Turnitin, Authenticate, Drillbit are original. So there is a software like Image Twin. Image Twin, we are subscribing Image Twin, and so you can take the trial version of Image Twin and you can check 2 or 3 images. But we are subscribing to Image Twin. So there are two software. One is Image Twin. There is one more software. They check the originality of the this uh, any image. So actually, this software is being used by the reviewers and editors, because when we check the this thing, and that is the reason nowadays we are seeing the paper retraction cases. So because this software, they are very powerful, they check the duplication of image. Yes. I think I have shown you also the dashboard of Image Twin, if you remember in my slides. So you just need to upload an image from your desktop and click. After some time, it will show whether, it is copied or created. That's what I also shown you the BioRender, one software which helps you to create your own image in, template. So that is a kind of proof that image is yours. Yeah. Any other question?
We are waiting and expecting few another question from participants' point of view. Then we.
Yeah. You can give suggestions also, right? So
Yes,
we can also, if anything I missed out, because see, increasing, this is a very good topic actually, because what happened now, we do lot of research, lot of, but it should be visible. So we should appreciate, we should thank Government of India that Sodh Ganga option is there, where you can upload a thesis. Before uploading any thesis, they have provided to software like Drillbit, where we can check the originality of this is also a initiative taken by Government of India. We should thank UGC because they have come with the academic integrity guidelines. So we are lucky at, that we have a clear cut guidelines. So it is in very few countries where, this kind of things are being given. Like in case of Madhya Pradesh, there is a software e-Granthalaya. Access has been given to all the government colleges on cloud basis. So they need not learn about the library management software. They can just go and start working on it. So these are the initiative taken by our government, and I think we should definitely appreciate these such steps. Yeah.
So actually, Dr. Pathak, I have a one query, not a question, not suggestion. Because
Yes.
today and we have completed successfully that 5 days consecutive research academic skill development program. The most of the participants are basically from the few research scholars, and the rest are few library professional, already library professional, or few are pursuing the LIS as a and LIS in BLIS and MLIS too. So as you know, they already submitted one question. My
Yeah.
suggestion
I
is
will read out,
this.
sir. I have a question. If I took any picture from open platform, how can I do reference of that one? See, if you take any pictures, before taking any picture, if you right click, it's tell you the source, number one. So that you should acknowledge. Otherwise, there is a one Google photo option. When you go on the Google, there is a one photo option. You click that, you upload that photo, it will tell you the source. Yes, sir. You please continue your question. Sir.
Actually, few of the library professionals have already joined, and few of the LI students is already they participated.
Okay,
So
okay, sir.
because as you know, government of India taken so many new initiatives regarding this ICT related issues, and implement already maintain and continuing few major activities related to South Ganga, South Gangotri, and so many. So if they are the newcomers of the in LIS domain, basically those who are now pursuing BLIs and MLIs, and those who are in the verge of the retirement in the LIS domain, to updating ourselves by as a library professional, what is your views? How to update in this particular ICT
Okay, sir.
terminology? What is your views?
Probably, I think you are the right person. You might have already told them, the scholars, about this. But what I feel as a librarian, that first they need to, whatever is there in the syllabus, first they need to understand why they are doing, whether it is a classification, depth classification, cataloging, depth classification, because that concept, no, class cataloging, or we now we call metadata, that is now being used everywhere, including IT field, whatever they are doing. So that concept we should first understand what we are reading. Then, when it comes to ICT applications, they need to see, that first it starts with the automation, library modernization. They need to visit the what are the very good libraries in their area. They should attend the conference seminars in their area initially, because when they are students, they are not financially versed. So suppose he or her from Kolkata or Kharagpur, they should go to Kolkata, attend any. Suppose NDLI workshop is happening in Kharagpur, they may just go by request the librarian, they will definitely waive off the fees and go and attend, just giving an example. Then they need to, by this attending conference, they need to build a network, they need to meet the new professionals, not like only the classmates or believe family. So visiting the good libraries, meeting the professionals, meeting the new professional, building their own network. Their presence on social media is very important, especially on Twitter and LinkedIn. And then they need to understand the recent trends like automation, library modernization, ICT applications, RFID based. Then they also need to learn artificial intelligence application of like Chat GPT, then software like Claude, Gamma. They need to spend some time, and they need to visit the library website of very good libraries. For example, IIM Ahmedabad or IIT Kharagpur or IIT Gandhinagar, those who are really doing good, Vishwabharati University, and try to learn what kind of services are being provided by the, they also need to see what are the databases, what are the, in different field. Suppose you are going to give interview for law university, so you need to understand what are the law databases. They need to understand. So see, library science, is a very vast area. It's not, and it's not a day one, day two, they can learn the things. It's a systematic process of, learning. So while doing believe, ambly, but while, giving the MDiv examination, that is the very first priority to giving the NAT, clearing NAT, JRF, other those things. and then starting with the traineeship program, because librarianship, immediately much opportunities are not there. Either you go for the KBS or Navodaya or these things. So what I nutshell conclude my this thing, they need to explore whatever resources are available. Like somebody is asking here, ONOS is not accessible. So what I suggest ki ONOS is accessible to all the government institutions. If you are not a part of government organization, need not worry. They are going to provide access ONOS to all the private organizations with some charging some amount. But I would say there are a lot of literature is open access. For example, DOAJ, 20,000 journals are available. Who is accessing? Hardly they have to access. Even I would say, Kaushik sir, one nation, one subscription, around 45, 46 library science journals are accessible.
Yes.
But if we ask ourselves whether we downloaded any library science article, probably answer will no. Is there any study on those journals? What kind of research trend is going on? This kind of, so that is the whatever is available around, we should try to learn. One more last thing, they should also try to learn about like R Studio, R Biblo Shiny, R software like Startup, SPSS. This software will go help you to analyze the data, because now time has come. They have to understand the basic concept of library science. They need to understand why ICT, how to implement, and finally, what are the recent trend in the